more craziness with Professor Thomas. Here we are in lesson number 2. It's homework assignment number 2. The Scooby-Doo technique continued. Quick review as we always do. Topic sentences followed by details. That's how we're going to write our paragraphs. Details are there to support your topic sentence. A topic sentence is going to feel like a personal opinion. That's why we need to support it. You can't just say something that's a fact. If that were the case, you don't need details to support it. Here we are in the Scooby-Doo. The Scooby-Doo says basically the same thing throughout the paragraph. The topic sentence is going to basically be restated in the details, but they'll use different words to say that. So what we want to do is pay close attention to nouns, which is a person, place, or a thing, and verbs, which are action words. So the nouns and verbs in the details are going to have to relate. It's going to relate you back to your topic sentence. Let's go ahead and get started. The name of this particular passage is called Pay Attention to Pricing. To prices. Here is our topic sentence. The price of ice cream cone is posted in a shop window. We know the noun is an ice cream cone. You decide to buy one. Buy one is an ice cream cone. That's Scooby-Doo again. Would you like a topping? A topping for your ice cream cone. You see how we say the same thing but use different words. You decide on chocolate sprinkles. Chocolate sprinkles are components of your new ice cream cone. The price of your ice cream cone has now just gone up. Ice cream cone. We say the same thing over and over. It's the Scooby-Doo technique, kids. A new word for this practice is called shrouding. So, you saw this as a classic example of Scooby-Doo, number 1. And now, it's kind of weird because this paragraph is written in kind of a wacky way. That's why I chose it. Shrouding, here is an example of shrouding. So they give you an example and then they define what that really means. So shrouding, an example here, put it into like a simpler way of looking at it. Shrouding is basically someone suggestive selling something that has some kind of a charge associated with it. When you go into that place, the shop, to buy an ice cream cone, you don't really think there is a hidden price on what you're going to be buying here. So when somebody suggests something, you think it's free. For some reason, most people think it's free. It's not. Let's go ahead, scroll down. We'll take a look at the details in this particular question. Number 1 says this. Reread the paragraph about pricing. Write an additional detail, as we mentioned. That's an example of the main idea of shrouding. Shrouding is suggestive selling. My detail was Burger King. At Burger King, I went in and on the menu it said a Whopper was $1.89. It sounded kind of good, so I ordered one. I'd like one Whopper, please. The person that was behind the cash register said, would you like cheese on it? I said, sure. The bill came up and it was now $2.29. There was a hidden fee or charge for the cheese. I just assumed it was on there, but there's actually a charge for that. Think of an example that has an extra charge. Let's move on to 2. Number 2. From this paragraph, you can conclude that shrouding also happens when. Let's go ahead. Keep in mind that shrouding is an additional charge when somebody suggests something. That's our definition. And now let's do the process of elimination to take a look at our answers. A, the lunch lady asks you if you want white or wheat bread. There is no charge there. So that is not shrouding. Shrouding is an additional fee. B, the waiter brings you a refill of Pepsi at a fancy restaurant. A refill of Pepsi at a fancy restaurant, usually there is no fee for that. So we can cross that one out as well. Number 3, letter C. There's a buy one, get one free at Dairy Queen. Buy one, get one free. There's no fee on that, so that can be crossed out. D, the bike salesperson shows you a matching backpack that goes along with the bike that you're about to buy. When you buy that backpack that matches, there is going to be an extra charge, and therefore that would be suggestive selling, or in this case, shrouding. Number 2 is going to be answer choice D. Number 3, the main idea of this paragraph. What do? We come back up here, we review our passage, topic, sentence followed by details. Here, remember what we saw earlier is this is an example, and then the concept here of the whole passage is shrouding. Shrouding is hidden costs. We come down over here, and in the answer choices, we just start crossing stuff out. Check your answer choices, process of elimination. A, people are sneaky. Well, remember the big picture for the passage is shrouding. So the answer has to say something about that. Here, this answer talks about people, so that is going to be off topic. We need an answer choice that's closer to target, and that target, once again, is going to be shrouding. So that's off topic. We can cross that out. B, prices vary based upon what we buy and where. Prices varying is off topic. We need shrouding. Shrouding is hidden costs. C, economists think shrouding is a good thing. We do talk about shrouding here, but this is the wrong tone. Economists never say it's a good thing. What economists said was shrouding affects what we buy today. That is a neutral opinion on the economists, and here they're switching that around. You'll see later when we get into the next lesson called the good stinky rule, you'll see that this is going to be labeled as positive, and in the passage we would relate economists to something that we would put an N by, neutral, and you see that that's the wrong tone, so we can cross that one out. Let's take a look at D. D says, many things you buy have a hidden cost. A hidden cost is a Scooby-Doo for shrouding. So that is going to be the best answer choice for problem number 3. Remember, the answer has to say something, main idea answer, has to say something about shrouding. It's got to give an example of shrouding, or it's got to give a definition of shrouding. But either way you look at it, the answer has to be about shrouding. 3, D is the best answer on that one. Let's go ahead and clear the screen. We're going to scroll on down and take a look at problem number 4. 4, which best reflects the author's point of view towards the economists? We come back up here. We take a look at what it says about the economists on line 4. Economists think that shrouding affects much of what people buy today. Well, okay, great. This is a detail that illustrates the concept of shrouding. So the author has a hidden opinion, and we're going to use this as a detail to support that hidden opinion. The hidden opinion is it's sneaky. It refers back to shrouding. So economists say it affects what people buy today. You can assume the author thinks that it affects it in a negative way. Let's go back down over here and take a look at our answer choices and start crossing stuff out. Process of elimination, kids. Answer choice 4A says, the author is passionate about the economist's definition of shrouding. The economists say that shrouding affects what people buy today. There's no real tone on it. Here, the word passionate feels way too strong. That feels like it's a very good thing. Remember, in the passage, the economists just say it affects what we buy today. So that feels like it's too strong to cross that one out. B, the author is upset with the economists because the economists say that shrouding is a good thing. So here, first of all, this is wrong for 2 reasons. Economists never say that shrouding is good for the economy. Second of all, the author is not really upset with what the economists say, because remember, the author is using the economists as a detail to support the topic sentence. So that is a total twist on words, wrong for 2 reasons. C, the author subscribes to the idea that shrouding affects consumers. Subscribes is a Scooby-Doo for agreeing. Well, That's the correct answer. Why? Because it goes back to the concept of how we write paragraphs. Topic sentence followed by details. Details are there to support the topic sentence. The word economist is a detail to support the idea of shrouding. The author has an opinion about shrouding as being sneaky. Sneaky is negative. So here, this is going to basically be the correct answer. Put a dot by it. Let's check D just to make sure here. The author disagrees with the economist's basic assumption. The economist's basic assumption is that it affects people. Remember, that's going to go against. Why would you say that if you use economist as a detail? Details support. Details do not go against your topic sentence. 4, the correct answer here is going to be answer choice C. Let's go ahead, scroll on down. We'll take a look at problem number 5. Number 5, using the Scooby-Doo technique. What's another word for the word sneaky? Sneaky, we see, is a bad word because it's a hidden charge that we don't assume is there. So the correct answer here would say something like bad. It would say crafty, unfair, unethical. It's got to have some kind of a negative word in here because of the connotation for sneaky. It's going to be a bad word. Let's take a look at the last problem here. It is problem number 6. In this paragraph, the word economists must logically mean. Let's go back up and see from the context of the passage what that refers to. First things first, quick review. We know that the big picture for this paragraph is going to be shrouding, and the author thinks that shrouding is sneaky. So the author believes that the subject matter here, shrouding, is a negative thing. Economists is a detail to support shrouding, and that shrouding is something that we don't really like. It's a hidden cost. Economists think that shrouding affects much of what people buy today. So economists is some kind of an expert that deals with some of the subject matter of what people buy. So we're going to need to reword who an economist is. An economist is somebody that's an expert in the economy, about what we buy. So when we scroll on down here, process of elimination, we can start crossing answer choices out that are off on the wrong end. A, people in the economy. It says economy and economist, but is that an expert in what we buy? No. So we can cross that one out. That's just a play on words. That's called a distortion, kids. Saying the same word but putting a spin on it. B, college professors in economics. Well, are they experts in what we buy? No. Economics means the economy, and that would mean more of a larger view about like the government trading with other countries and so forth. So that is a distortion because it's got the word economy and the prefix, as you'll learn later. C says market analysis. Market, what kind of a market? Sales market, so that's on task. Put a dot by that. And those trying to live economically. See, this is another distortion. They use the root word economy and economics, but they twist it around. It's called a distortion. That's out of there. Remember, Scooby-Doo says the same thing, but they're going to use different words to say that same concept. Economists are people that are professionals that analyze the market, and that's the only answer choice that's going to pop off the page is problem number 6. Kids, you see, with the Scooby-Doo, it's helping us understand the vocabulary. What we need to do is we need to think about another way of saying the same concept. That's it for homework number 2, lesson number 2. We will see you in the next video, kids. Bye for now.